begin to pay on time, if you showing that you are overextended. And when I say overextended, I'm saying suppose you had a credit balance of $3,000, but something happened and you accidentally went up to $3,500 or $3,200. You would need to hurry up and get that below that, because probably you're going to pay a lot of overage fees for being above the balance that they've already authorized.
So I just logged into this website and I'm looking at my credit report, and it seems to be things on here that I didn't even purchase. What should I do?
You should talk to the credit reporting agency. They have a method, I believe. If you go on site, on their website, I believe that you can either print out a form and tell them exactly what's wrong, and they will do an investigation to see if that's correct information. They will go back to the company that they have that reported that information, and if they don't respond to you, I believe it's 30 days, then they have to take that off your credit report.
Well, I'm going to have to go ahead and do that, because this just ain't right.
No, it's not. That's why we have to be the ones to make sure that our credit reports are correct. The credit reporting agencies are reporting whatever they are told, and that does not necessarily mean that it's correct information.
Wow, I can't believe I didn't know how important having my credit reports were. I'm definitely going to have to spread the word to other people I know, and thank you for telling me all this important information.
You're absolutely welcome.
Is there anything else you'd like to say before we go to commercial?
I would like to say that you should go to IntegrityStewardship.com, and at IntegrityStewardship.com you can get my book, Destroying the Chains of Debt Forever, No Longer a Slave to the System. In that book you can find out exactly what is going on in our economy, the things behind the scenes. It is important for you to know about predatory lending and other things. Our economy is based on credit, but that does not necessarily mean that we have to stay in a credit-minded situation. So go to Integrity Stewardship Enterprise. There's quite a bit of information there. You can even check out my blog.
We'll be right back. That you would like to hear discussed on Integrity Radio? Send your emails to IntegrityRadio@IntegrityStewardship.com. We'd love to hear from you. You are listening to Integrity Radio. I'm your host, Lakeisha.
And I'm your co-host, Sandra Gage, President and CEO of Integrity Stewardship Enterprise.
And we are talking about identity theft.
Yes, that's really prevalent. There is a lot of identity theft going on right now.
Well, actually, I have a little story to tell, because this morning I got up and checked my email, and someone had hacked an account that I had a username and password on, and I got an email telling me that I made a purchase that I didn't purchase.
Oh my goodness, what did you do?
Well, I canceled the card that they used, and I had them remove my account from their website.
That's good.
But if I didn't know ahead of time, it could have been a disaster.
Yes, that's why it is so important that we stay on top of everything that's going on in regards to our finances and protect our identity from fraud.
Agreed.
One of the things that we can do if we're doing a lot of business online, make sure that if we're making purchases on the internet that we use only secure websites. Secure websites usually have in the URL an HTTPS, which tells you that that site is secure. Or down in the corner of your screen, you'll see a little padlock letting you know that that site is secure. You never want to put personal information, credit card information into a website that is not secure.
That's true. I just wanted to add that when I did go to the site, the purchase I made was a long time ago, but when I went to go report that something was going on, they already had a video up saying that they were being hacked and someone was sending out spoof emails.
My. That's why you really have to pay attention. Sometimes we get a lot of spam, but sometimes maybe it's something that we need to pay attention to because something is going on with our personal information. Another thing that we need to do in regards to protecting ourselves from identity theft is to make sure that we shred personal information and documents that have our personal information on them. You never want to just take that information and throw it in the garbage because there are people that actually do dumpster diving. Or you never want to take your personal information if you were sending a credit card bill off and stick it in your mailbox, because sometimes those people that are interested in stealing your identity will come right behind you and take that out of the mail, and then they have your credit card information.
True.
So shredding your documents is very important. Another thing that you want to do is to be sure and check your credit reports, because if anything is happening and purchases that you didn't make show up on your credit report, you should report it to the credit reporting agencies right away. You may even want to freeze your credit reports.
Is there some sort of protection you can buy that would alarm you if something was going on with your accounts?
Yes, there's a lot of companies out there that provide that kind of protection for a price. Then there's another thing. If you're going to the grocery store and you're using your debit card or your credit card, especially your debit card, and you're putting in your PIN, be careful about who's standing really close to you, because there's something called shoulder surfing, where they're looking over your shoulder and seeing what your PIN number is. There's also some kind of mechanical device that they can actually scan and get your information without you even knowing it. So be careful about your surroundings.
That's good advice.
I heard the other day that somebody had their tax refund stolen.
Wow.
That they didn't get their tax refund, and when they contacted the IRS said that they had sent out their tax refund, but somebody stepped in and had that tax refund rerouted to their address. So there's a lot of ways that people can steal your identity, and there's a lot of ways that they can steal the information that you want to protect. So be careful.
So it seems to me that everyone should be a little bit more careful about their personal information, but is it ever really foolproof?
Nothing is foolproof. Nothing at all. So that's why you always have to stay on top of everything and pay attention to things that just doesn't seem right. I can tell you a situation where I opened an account, a business account at a bank, and part of that new account was receiving a debit card that I really didn't want because I already had a debit card and I wasn't planning on using their debit card, but they gave it to me anyway. And I would say maybe 6 months after I opened the account, there was online purchases from that debit card that I never used. I actually had never used the card, never signed off on the card, and did not even carry it around with me. So when I went into the bank, I had them check into the information, and they found that there was a person in Nevada that was charging these exotic items off the internet, a place that I've never been before. So they canceled that card and gave me another card. And by the time they gave me another card, somebody had also started charging on that card. And so eventually I just closed my account at the bank because it seemed like this identity fraud was inside their banking organization.
That's pretty messed up if it's an internal issue.
It surely is. And I've seen other articles on that same bank, which I will not name, that there was identity theft within their organization.
So once again, do your research before you make a decision, especially when it comes to your money.
Absolutely.
Anything else you'd like to add before we go to commercial?
I would invite you to check out IntegrityStewardship.com and get a copy of my book, Destroying the Chains of Debt Forever, No Longer a Slave to the System. It's a book that tells you about the things that are going on in our economy and how to get out of debt, how to keep from falling into traps. I even talk about identity theft.
We'll be right back. That you would like to hear discussed on Integrity Radio? Send your emails to integrityradio@integritystewardship.com. We'd love to hear from you. You are listening to Integrity Radio. I'm your host, Lakeisha.
And I'm your co-host, Sandra Gage, President and CEO of Integrity Stewardship Enterprise.
And we are talking about the housing market.
The housing market.
Dun, dun, dun! I know, it's a touchy topic.
It is very, very touchy. It's been up and down, and they're looking for it to rise. You keep hearing all these reports saying the housing market is going up. But is it really? Is it really back to where it was before? Does it look like we really are appreciating these homes?
I was fooled once. If we go all the way back to when it first happened, everyone could see the damage that was done almost every other house on the street was empty for sale.